And now, the zipper tutorial. You're going to need some minky for this. So you're going to cut 2 strips of minky. I do them 5 centimetres wide because that's the width of my ruler. And you're going to want to make sure it's the same length as your back neck. I always just cut excess because, you know, it's better to go bigger than smaller. And all you're going to do is cut the strip, turn them right sides together, make sure that the pile direction is going the same way. And then you're going to clip them together, just like this. So I found a lot of zipper tutorials didn't go over some of the sewing parts, so I'm going to try and get all that done. This is a longer video because zippers are a pain. So here I am just clipping it all together, and you're going to do the same for the other side. Then you're just going to zoom straight through that in the machine. And you can use whatever seam allowance you're comfortable with. Some people use a centimetre, I use 6mm. That's just what I do. And it's, you know, I align the edge of the foot, move the needle, it's perfect. Then if you have a bulky seam, you're actually going to want to trim just about roughly 3-4 mils off it. Now you're not cutting the minky, you are cutting where all 3 seams, so the lining, the fur, and then the excess minky join. There you go, just like that. This is just going to reduce the bulk, just make it a bit easier for the next step. You don't have to do this, completely optional. And then I'm just cutting the excess off the ends. And look at that. If only I was that fast in real life. Alrighty, now the next part is you're going to want to get your zipper, work out how big it is, and all you're going to do is with the minky, you're actually going to be a little bit aggressive and pull it over and pin it to the lining. And you're going to want to make sure that that seam underneath, the one that we just trimmed, rolls over with it. And this just stops it flying off the wrong side. Once you've done that, you're going to get your zipper and align it to the seam. Now you can use a bigger zipper or a smaller zip, completely up to you. I have a non-separating zip here, just because that's what I ended up buying. As for pinning it, this is optional. I usually don't pin my zippers. And when you're going to sew it, you're going to make sure the zipper teeth, those ones there, line up with that middle seam, so where the minky and the fur meet on the right sides. Then you're going to put on your zipper foot on your machine, and you're actually going to sew the opposite side of where the zipper teeth are. So move the needle, in my case, to the left-hand side. Makes it nice and easy. And I'll show you where you're going to sew that. I'll do a little close-up. There we go. You're actually going to sew quite to the end of the zipper. Now, I did mine about 2-3 mil off the zipper. That's how close to the edge you're going to want to go. That's what's going to give you that nice hidden zip. Once you do one side, secure it down, flip it around and do the other. So a separating zip would be much easier than doing this zip. But yeah, it's basically just sewing 2 lines, sewing away from the zipper teeth. So you get a nice little rollover of minky, which you'll see here. And I know you're thinking, it looks a bit gross. Give it a good brush. This is me being a bit aggressive with the brush. And here is the zipper. Look at that. So it looks pretty good. Now, as for these excess flaps of minky, you can cut them off. You don't have to. I actually usually just leave it there. For this one, I decided to cut it off, just so it looks a bit nicer on camera. With the zipper, if you are still struggling with it, do it as a basting stitch. So turn your stitch length up all the way to about, stitch length of 5. And you don't have to knot it off. You can literally just do a temporary stitch, check it works, then go back over it with about a 3, stitch length 3. There we go. That's it all trimmed. Turn it right side out. Look at that, let me just zip that up for you. You'd hardly even know that there's a blue zipper in there. And I'll put it on the mannequin so you can see with the base. Look at that. Oh, that fur colour looks so pretty. And there's your hidden zipper. Enjoy the video.